battles have yet to begin. Laughter will be heard in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Need guidance on life, auto, or homeowners insurance? Contact Kate Woolman State Farm for all your insurance needs. Rates can be more affordable than you think, and protecting what matters most to you is important. Call Ben at 719-539-6265 and he'll set you up with what you need. That's 719-539-6265.
East or west? I said north or south. I meant east or west.
did.
Yeah, so...
It did sound strange, but I was
Yeah.
like, well, your world,
Yeah.
I'll do whatever you say.
I just realized I'm just realizing I said that wrong. Yeah, so east or west?
We're going to go east.
Nice. I'm going to put you all to the map so that you can actually have a little powwow and discuss what you want to do about that. Actually, does the Balashtar map have a good... Not really.
All right, so wait, take it back. We're probably trying to make it to the river.
Go by river.
Depends on you
Follow the
guys.
river up.
I'd prefer to go by river, even though it'd be more visible, more exposed. I feel like it's still maybe a safer option than going along the edges of the swamps. I feel like a border between the Globshack swamps and the Nworq Empire
Is it possible
would be
to go through the mountains?
a violent no man's land.
Going through the mountains arguably is the safest way to go, actually. So, William, things you would know is going by river is difficult because you're going upstream the whole time. And as soon as you hit that dead city, the Guthkunken, it's extremely dangerous. That whole city is filled with a swarm. As far as you can tell, there is a form of a queen in there that breeds the armies in that location. Avoiding that is probably a good idea, and it's right up to the river. The Globshap swamps, the immediate area by the mountains and the swamps themselves are gaslands. A completely different kind of danger, but also extremely dangerous.
Like gene
I think
gas?
Like
my
gene gases, yeah.
/ Williams plan would have been to go through the mountains. That would, I don't know, that make the most sense to me. But out loud, my plan upon being assigned to your group was to take you through the mountains. Difficult, but I believe the safest route. There are other more dangerous, potentially faster, if you would prefer, though.
I hadn't considered just going through the mountains. If you feel that's going to be the safest option, I'd say take a few extra solars or even maybe lines if necessary to get us there. We can't go over it. We can't go under it. Oh no, we have to go through it, right?
Well, I think it is more likely that we will go over it, but I take your meaning. Over the mountain it is, then. Follow me. And William will lead them on a path that will take them up into the mountains and with as much cover as possible. So they are not seen by, trying not to be seen by anyone.
Traveling along the wall at first as you're glimpsing, I said it right, yay, around a bunch of soldiers on the wall. And these area, they're still manned, but not as manned as that center mass where you were. As you're moving along, you do see from the end of a forest line across the clearing, these hulking figures come stampeding out, running, a couple of gaps inside the lines. The wall begins to erupt with fire. As in gunfire, cannon fire. And more potholes are scattered along the floor of this open space. One of them catches one of these creatures, exploding it. As they hit the wall, you feel the tremor from where they were. You continue heading off. Get to a section where you're going to scale down the wall. Get down it as the ground loosely tremors. As from the forest comes a hulking beast with this very long protrusion of a nose. It almost looks like a horned beetle. BT, as you see it, that whole horn begins to start slowly warming and growing in energy. Once you reach the other side of the clearing on your area, which is still clear, this wall being massive as it is, the horn erupts and part of the wall explodes.
Quick calculation, odds that they're going to survive that?
Given in the brief time frame, several holes have been appearing in the creature. They'll survive the assault, but it's going to be a costly one. Whatever this is, has the potential of changing how this combat has been going, and is definitely new. You've never heard of a creature like that. But you find yourselves now in the forest, hearing the combat and the explosions from artillery fire, cannon fire, distant screams of Nworq creatures. At this point, I'd like a survival check from whoever's guiding.
Oh, from whoever's guiding. Well, he does that. I cannot hold it anymore. I'm sorry.
Bio break.
I am in the same position. I'll also be right back.
Good luck.
That is going to be a 23.
23. You know the general direction to be going, and you know there is no immediately set path to anywhere. Not anymore. The old roads are overgrown, disrepair, not used, and staying off the road is better. You bring them through the course of this day.
Somewhere along the line, I will adapt to the terrain, colors, things like that.
Okay, yeah.
As part of my background, I can find food and fresh water for myself and up to 5 people each day. So I'll do that as well. I guess provided the land offers berries, small game, and water and so forth. Assuming. I assume that it does. But maybe
water, definitely. Water's an easy thing to do. Small game is a little harder to do. It's still possible. However, I would say you'd still need to give me a check in order to find it, because most of the stuff around here are predatory in nature, and a good chunk, like even the small little creatures, would be predatory towards humanoids, even though they are much bigger.
Okay. What kind of check would you like for that?
Give me a survival check, but it will be with advantage due to the feat that you've got.
That's going to be 24.
24. Easy enough, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, at the end of this day, that is probably not going to be that good of a time trying to be stealthy and probably up mountain.
Mhm. Good
Find a
long hike.
camping spot, and William will disappear for a little bit and come back with some fresh water and some small game for us to eat.
I'm back.
I will
Welcome
build a
back.
fire. A fur.
A fur.
Oh, now that
Uh,
we're in the
Yes, and
forest,
Go ahead.
any like fungal growths around, as far as BT would notice, would be glowing profusely as Arboreus transfers information back to the collective.
There is something you notice, Arboreus, actually, as you're going through. The fungal growth you find around does not respond to you. It almost feels hostile in nature.
I'm going to take some samples.
William will assist with the fire to try to make it as low as possible while still being useful, so as not to be seen.
Oh, I'm digging out a little
around.
pit.
Yeah.
Pit. Kicking dirt around.
What kind of mountainous terrain is this? Is this, the sparse, rocky, trees, forested?
There are pine trees around. It's semi-loosely forested. For part of the journey on this day, you were above the tree line, part of it you're below, camping out below tree line currently. Loose shrubs, but not as leafy as you'd expect or you're used to.
Am I seeing anything else energy-wise?
Give me a perception check. Investigation.
Okay. Wow, that just hit every low number it could possibly hit.
Yes. Truly tried.
So that is just A6.
Just a 6. Looking around. Not really. I mean, things just look a little sickly. No real telling how or why.
Did what's her face, Ikelia? Did she give back the journal or did she retain it? She
She
probably
would have-
retained it, didn't she?
In the 3 days, or the 3 solas, she would have made a copy and given you a copy.
Okay. Cool. An exact copy, including all the
An
illustrations and the descent into madness?
An exact copy.
Okay, perfect.
Something
Then
about knowing
Tuffy's
the
going
perfect
to-
spell.
Oh. Well, that would be why they don't have lithographs here.
As we go to sleep, I'll talk to Big Tin, BT. BT, are you an individual who sleeps?
No.
Very good. Would you mind keeping watch then?
You're lucky I'm older. Sure.
Yeah, you need to specify keep watch for what and to do what if something occurs. Because otherwise he'll just watch.
I've
Good to know.
learned what they mean when they say that now. But yes.
This is a very aggressive area, even here. If you hear anything or see anything, wake us up. And then go ahead.
Anything that poses a threat to us, not just like, oh, there's a bat.
A bat could pose a threat to you, just to be clear.
Not me though. I'm built different. Oh, it would be my friend.
I'm just
You would be the
sitting
first.
back on a stump watching all of this with a very, like, oddly long pipe. Like, it does not fit the type of what I look like. And I'm just lighting it with a match.
Boris is huddling in a section of the camp looking over this fungus going, why are you not friendly?
How big are the trees in this area?
Between 30 and 50 feet. I mean, they're not ginormous, but they're trees. They're decent size.
Is it possible for an owlin such as myself to sit up in a tree for the evening?
Oh yeah,
or will
you'd
it
be.
not hold me?
It'll hold you. You'll be 20 feet up there.
Okay, great. We'll do that. Once I'm in place. So as an owl, I expect I don't need to tie myself to the tree. Is that a false assumption?
Nah, you can balance nicely.
Great.
He builds a little nest.
I am going to do a ritual cast, which I think is the only way you can do it, of the spell Alarm. Which it's a 20. It's going to be a 20-foot cube around wherever Teflessa is sleeping. If anything that isn't Teflessa, Big Tin, or a Boreas comes within there, a ping will go off in my head.
So Draken can't be within the cube?
Oh, he can. A ping will just go off in my head.
Oh, okay.
Also, I have a long sword of warning. So I have advantage on initiative rolls, and in addition, me and any of my companions within 30 feet of me can't be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep. The weapon magically awakens you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins.
Huzzah.
As we're laying down for bed, I'm gonna ask Teffy. Teflessa, how long have you known Big Tim?
That's an excellent question. What's the date?
It is
Speaking of which.
7/3/11/566.
7/3/11. All right, let's pull out the calendar. 7/3/11. Okay. Okay. Good God, where did I start writing the dates? Hold on. 11. Okay. Seems about 9 lunars now, give or take.
And lunars are months, right? Like,
I think so.
Yes. You hear a voice
I'm
over the.
gonna turn to Big Tin. How does he know about this
Well,
distinction?
he's got a computer brain. I'm sure I've heard it once or twice before. I just can't recall.
Yeah. All right. Well, that answers that. How long has he been? Well, why am I asking you, Big Tin? How long have you been conscious?
10 months?
All right.
What other questions do you have?
None for now. We should rest.
I wasn't built recently.
It's just as there's nothing like you in Parkhoth.
There's nothing like me. Period. I am unique. My builder built me unique. I exist outside of all cycles, including the loop of the gods.
I'm gonna lean slightly
Just like the
towards
knowing.
Teflessa. I'm gonna be leaning more and more towards Teflessa, and I'm gonna say, I really wish I had his confidence.
Yeah, he's his daddy's special boy. From what I've gathered, he never doubts himself. I'll give him that. What a trait to have.
For the keen eyes in the group, I am studying Big Ten as I finish what's left in this pipe. There's like my eyes like get very, very squinted. Not like squinted, but like very trained in on him. And like just calculating him, just looking him over.
Every now and then, you'll swear you see steel move.
Clear out my pipe, put it away, lay down on my bedroll.
Boreas. Give me either a nature or maybe a medicine. Nature or a medicine check.
Go nature. They're both the same, but I'm proficient in nature.
Nice.
A total of 10.
10. Looking at this moss, you don't get too much more than there's just something wrong with it. Through it, you can't get any of the connection. Even looking at some of the moss growth on the trees around you, they're darker in nature, more of a deeper green than the spongy green that you're used to. And it's harder. Like, it's not really spongy, it's more concrete, more rocky. Coming up to the city of Cubis, the moss was normal, fine. But getting into these mountains, it's getting thicker.
I will store away what I collected then and continue to feel a little isolated, but otherwise go into my resting state for the evening.
Teffy is going to be bedded down but not asleep, and will have. She is sleeping at the base of the tree that William is, and then she'll do like sleepover chit chat, right? Where she's in bed, but she's gonna have a talk. She's gonna have a banter, have a chat, and she's going to say, "Well, we are on the road now. What was it you were going to tell us about the Nworq and their peoplehood, or not?"
Sleep is important out here, Teflessa. But to answer your query, they act, in my opinion, more than mindless beasts. As if there is possibly a intelligent mind somewhere in their ranks. But that is not a popular opinion, as mindless beasts are easier to kill.
Alright, interesting. Much to consider. Thank you. Teffy's going to do one big yawn, and then flop onto her side and promptly pass out.
I noticed that, why do I keep wanting to say Aberrat?
Close.
What was the name again? You had this one?
Aborius.
Aborius. I noticed Aborius studying the moss. Have I seen that he's been disconnected from the energy pathways that he used to be communicating with?
You do certainly see there being a difference. You would have seen a few solos of witnessing a Boreas communicate via moth, and this moth. I think I said just moth there. Yeah, via moss, and this moss is not responding the same way.
Boreas also probably seems a little nervous about that, because lacking connection to the collective.
I will when everyone's asleep, go look at some moss as well
Excellent.
and scan it and ask Destruction what makes this different.
Taking a deeper look at it,
Yeah, share my vision
he
with Destruction.
responds with, "It is corrupted. I'm not sure how. I would need to be there. But it will not respond the same way because it is no longer what it was."
Is this a primordial trait or something else?
It certainly has the feel of our touch. But it
Which
does
one?
not look like something we did ourselves. Nearly like what's happening in Crotpolis. Designed.
No, keep watch. I'll use enhanced primordial boosted senses all night. Or as long as I can. Keep stretching, pushing the limits of what I can, maintain, channel, practice.
Night starts to creep on. The sun finally sets. BT, give me a perception check.
But we're rolling low tonight.
For the first time ever, Big Ten sleeps.
No, not close, but that'll be a 9 event in the end, but yeah.
A 9. Get a little lost inside your analysis. Failing to see one of the overlays. Oops, sorry, Mike, I just smacked you. One of the overlays of reality, and more seeing the numbers and everything you're computing and thinking of. William, you were woken up by chinging in your head.
I wake up, pulling out my hand crossbows and pointing down. What do I see?
Creeping around the side of the tree that Teffy's sleeping across, with BT's back facing that direction, currently looking some other spot, is a lizard. Maybe only about 3 inches long, very bright red, with a couple of spots of darker colors on it. You know this lizard. He's incredibly poisonous.
Shoot it twice in the head.
Okay, give me 2 attack rolls.
Am I also is that within 30 feet of me? Or is she within 30 feet of me?
Would be within 30 feet of you, yeah, so you would wake up.
Everyone would be awake. Everyone would.
Everyone just wakes up
radius.
very suddenly.
That's a 26.
26, oh yeah, that hits.
It's 8 piercing damage. And then the other one That is a 22
Oh, yeah, that hits.
for 2 piercing damage.
2 piercing damage. Taffy, you wake up, eyes shooting open, with a really weird feeling and sensation inside your body. Something is screaming at you to wake up, get moving, and charge, and then suddenly 2 bolts slam a couple of inches from your face into the tree. And you look over to see a double-fanged lizard squirming along the tree and then slump to lifeless.
Yes.
You were
Oh,
muted.
venom.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Oh, of
Say
course
it
I
all
am. What did you do that for? It was poisonous, not venomous.
Oh, I didn't even notice it until you said that.
It would
That he used that
really do me
phrase.
damage if I ate it, but he's just a guy,
Very poisonous.
and you killed him.
Anything approaching this camp is not a friend of yours. You may go back to sleep now, though.
I don't think I bloody well
So-
can.
Even the lizards, huh? Okay.
As you see this, there is a slight sizzling coming from where the lizard is, as Teffy, when you look, the blood that's coming from it is burning through the bark. And at the tip of
Okay,
its
well, I am
fangs,
gonna.
it looks as though that blood is also falling from the tip of its fangs into the snowy base of the tree and just sizzling right through it.
Hey, I'm gonna get a vial. I'm gonna take a sample, but I'm gonna be sad about it.
Take a
No, I'm gonna take. How much is this entire creature? You said it's like 3 inches, right? So it's like
Yeah,
tiny.
it's very tiny. It's small.
So
One of
would,
these
would
bolts
the
probably,
entire creature count
Oh.
as 1 sample or 2 samples?
probably 1 sample if you got the entire creature.
Okay, then I'm gonna get the entire creature, and I'm gonna be sad about it.
The bolts, be sure to mark off. Oh, well, actually, no, the bolts fade after a couple of seconds with a little bit of a spark and light as they disappear, and this creature falls to the ground. Using some metal tongs to pick it up, you put it into a glass vial, and the blood begins to pool, and soon the creature itself is dissolving in its own blood that continues to be produced, even while it's dead. After a moment, Effie, you have to tip over your vial and let some of it out, as it's now become too much before the entire carcass inside is dissolved by its own blood.
What is the date?
Still the same date.
7/3/11.
7/3/11. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you. Forgot
7/3/11.
to write that down.
You do, as a friendly reminder, have one question for your piece of paper.
Okay.
William's going to go back to sleep.
Same.
I guess I will. Watch closer. Okay, if I have to watch for every little thing that walks or moves.
Okay.
Everything is
Um,
deadly.
For my one question for my piece of paper, I'm going to ask, what's the most dangerous encounter we are likely to have on our way up to the Knowing's Notch?
Did you ask that? Because it'll say BT.
Funny enough, actually.
Yeah, I know.
The response. Your ink on the piece of paper dissolves and then reforms again. And it does say each other.
Is going to thank the piece of paper before folding it gently and putting it back in its pouch.
Rolling over, going back to sleep.
I am now scanning for any life form that comes close.
And now
If
you
it-
will roll a nat 1.
Probably. Because I'm chasing every worm and bug and ladybug and everything else.
It's like, is this poisonous? Eats the ladybug. Part of your tooth dissolves. Yep. It's acidic. Give me another perception check, BT. As the second watch comes around. There's a
20.
natural
Hey.
20.
Hey.
I am watching.
Stuff.
While you're watching, Tevi, you quickly fall asleep. The world comes back into existence around you. Only this time you're sitting around the fire. On the other side is that familiar, finely dressed, top-hatted individual of fear. It looks as though he's playfully poking this imaginary fire. So, what do you think? Terrifying perspectives? Or joyous adventure?
Why can't it be both?
You continue to respond like people I don't know. That sentence didn't make much sense, did it? In ways I don't know. Perhaps that's better. It can be both, certainly. How do you take it? Maybe something third?
Both, with a sprinkling of a secret third option, yeah. So, I mean, the unknown is terrifying, but it does bring with it the promise of adventure, but also a sense of duty.
Charging into the unknown for the knowing. For the sake of knowing. I've never asked. What are you going to ask him? Once you get there.
I haven't quite decided. I haven't quite decided yet. All I know is that there's something there that I need. I haven't figured out the exact wording necessarily, and I'm not even sure how many questions I'll be permitted, but it'll have to do with trying to break the loops and just let the world continue on.
That new companion of yours. Not the owling. The other one. He smells wrong. I wouldn't trust him if I were you. Whatever he brings, it can't be good.
Trust in what regard? There are many ways to trust a person and many ways to distrust that same person.
Fair question. In the regards of who they put their faith in. You could tell a lot about what people believe, or about people in what they believe. I'm
So are
worried
you
about
familiar?
that one.
Are you familiar with his god? He's from a world similar to ours, but with an additional god, it seems like, named Karak? Pillock?
Nope.
No, not Pillock.
Nope. I don't think I actually said my god's
didn't.
name at all. No.
I thought you said you had a
From-
connection to someone named Pillock.
Parkoth, Teflessa.
Oh,
He's
Parkoth.
from a place
Okay.
called Parkoth. That's not the name of
I'm
something.
Farkoth, and
Yeah. Hmm. I wouldn't say similar. His presence here is dangerous. And whatever information he brings with him is also dangerous. What we are trying to do will get us to a point of being able to understand what people like him would say. But I'm not sure everyone is there yet. Him being here is a clear sign to me that the beginning has begun, and we are fast approaching the end of it. The only way he could have made it through is if most of the keystones were already unlocked. We're running out of time, Teflessa.
And these keystones, how those demon fellas get here as well?
Yes, however, they're trying. Well, they were, at least. I'm not even sure. Everything's so strange in this run. Firstly, BT's a thing now. There's a new god knowing God partway through it. And several people have made it out, and now some are coming in. He's a paladin. He'll be looking for a new god. He won't find his here. Perhaps you can help. Get to know him a little. Maybe get some information of what he's after.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to keep that in mind. But I'm not sure if he'd be open to a new god. Paladins tend to be very particular about theirs. But I'll try. Keep my eye out.
You never know with this pantheon. Some of them might be willing to give a little. They're a lot more timid than previous ones.
I take affront at that accusation.
Shush, Prologue. Shush.
I'll scope things out and make some informed suggestions. But I thought that you were kind of against the gods anyways, after what they've done to you and yours.
Their general actions were understandable. I mean, what the family's been doing, of course they have to take action. Lopping all of us into one, that is what I don't like. Destruction was never a fan of what was going on. The fact they imprisoned him too, I think, is crossing a line. I don't mind what they did to me. Not gonna lie, I quite enjoyed that island. But what they did to Wrath was worse.
Teffy tilts her head and furrows her brow. I wasn't aware that anything had been done to Wrath.
Not my story to tell. I draw a line at telling personal things of other people. Though he's not really a person, is he? I amend that. Other primordials, I have no problem talking about secrets from other people. Except for you, of course. I will never tell your secrets to someone.
I'm not sure what they really do with my secrets anyways.
Me neither. That's why I would never tell them. Off to the unknown, I suppose.
Off to the unknown to find the knowing.
Hunting a god. How the tables have turned. The image shifts away as your dream state continues or returns to a normal standard. BT. Your natural 20. Here's a rustling.
Investigate.
Are you getting up and stepping outside of the area of alarm? Or are you staying within the radius of the spell?
Is the rustling outside then?
It is outside the radius. Probably about 100 or so feet off.
No. I'm not going to move yet. I'm not going to focus on it just in case that happens to be a distraction that somebody wants. But I'm going to track it while I watch everything else. See if it gets closer.
Let's begin to get closer. Rustling starts to get a little louder, and in this small little clearing where you found a nook that is only visible in some directions, rough shrubbery on the other sides, stumbling out from this tree line is what you would now recognize to be a Nworq, but it isn't the kind you've seen. There are two of them. Both look a little haggard. This is all because of your natural 20. Little haggard. One of them has cracked carapace along its chest, but it's bandaged. You can only see parts of the crack coming out from underneath this bandage. The other one seems to be nervously looking back and then looking forward. They don't have forelimbs and large abdominal mass in the back and torso. Instead, these ones are standing upright on two legs, much smaller in size. They do still have four appendages, but they're not sights on the lower limb areas. Their shape almost looks ant-like, but medium-sized and upright.
How far away?
60 or so feet.
Ward 1.
Ooh. Which one? The bandaged one or the one looking around nervously?
The bandaged one.
The bandaged one. Immediately you see it stop, shake, and you can hear this.
But I understand it now.
You understand that that is just a vocalization of warning. What you hear now is a series of clicking and ticks happening inside your head. And then another tone and series of clicks and ticks. Taking a moment of
Universal translator.
analyzing. There is a something
Computer
is
enhance.
in my head. Is it one of them? No, too far. Much closer. The nervous one looks around and finally catch sight.
Do you need help?
Leshtarins, run! They start to turn, to flee.
As close to in his own speech as I can replicate. Do you need help?
Give me a persuasion check, but with advantage. And I'm seriously knocking a lot off the DC because you're speaking their language.
So let's see here. 6 plus at least my persuasion's high. So it's an 11.
An 11. Okay. good enough to make them stumble for a moment. The one that you're bonded with stops and like, wait! You speak in head and language.
That is what you felt me connecting so that we could speak.
Dangerous. Are you dangerous?
All things are dangerous. I can be dangerous, but I don't choose to be if needed.
He looks at his
If I
companion.
was dangerous, I could have just killed you.
His companion nervously looks over and like, see, threat. He wants to kill. He said could have,
Could.
not will. It's not time to philosophize. Grakank.
I will heal.
Heal.
Mend.
Mend.
Do you have cracks?
You can try. No, he will not approach. I do not trust this. We are being chased.
I can protect.
Can you? Injured one starts to creep forward. The other one grabs, letting out a different pitched sound of gurgling. It's worry and distress.
May I approach you so that you don't approach the rest?
Moment of debate between the two of them as the one that's injured eventually looks over and... Yes. But we must be leaving soon. They'll find you if we stay.
I will shift. Step.
The nervous one stumbles backwards. Insectoid beady-like eyes that don't have eyelids just stare at you.
I will place my paw out on the ground, not touching them, but close to touching the hurt one, and then say, touch me.
Heyo.
Hey-o. There is a brief protest from the one behind, but he stifles his protests quickly. As the injured one reaches forward and with a three-fingered limb or hand, briefly touches your paw.
Ear wounds.
Cure wounds. Roll me a percentile dice.
Where's my percentile? 14.
14. As you cast Cure Wounds, you feel the energies begin to pulse.
I'll cast it slowly and watch it with the primordial and adjust if necessary.
Doesn't work, as it flickers and fails. You still cast the spell, but your spell did not work.
Do I know why it didn't work? Can I adjust it? That's why I was watching it.
Yes, but you know it's connected to the land. Something about what's going on inside the land is also disrupting some arcane flows. You will not be able to adjust it. You will unfortunately always have to roll. That is a mechanic of the Nworq Empire terrain territories. Any spells being rolled, even for you, BT, are going to have a percentile roll for them to actually succeed.
I will try again.
Roll me another percentile dice.
96?
That is a success, definitely. Your spell this time,
Wow.
instead of flickering and failing, pulses and succeeds.
2d8. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I do have a 2d8. Plus
Ooh.
3, so 13.
13 points. The energy pulses through this Nworq, and you can see the carapace and the cracked areas begin to seal. It's not a perfect seal. It'll leave a scar, probably, but it does close up. And you hear a... As continuing inside your mind, they speak. Thank you.
You're not like the others.
It's difficult to explain. You should not linger here. We must be moving, looking for others like...
He looks at your encampment.
your friends. They need to know.
Share your thoughts with me.
There's a lot of hesitation.
Hierarchy. I don't know. I need to find someone of import. I will share with import.
What do you classify as import?
People giving commands to fight back.
That is us.
That'd be a deception check.
To fight back.
That would be a deception check for the purposes of fight back.
What do you mean? Okay, I must have misunderstood that.
Fight back, as in perspective, if you're hopping into his mind, fight back is the people on the walls fighting them back.
That's who they're looking for.
Yes, that would be who they're looking for, and BT is definitely not someone in command of those people.
No, but I said us.
Us being the party immediate, also
Yeah.
definitely not in command of
We have an
those
ally.
forces.
Okay.
It's still going to be a deception check.
Okay. I understand. Let's see here. That's a -1, so 11.
11. Shrinks back a little bit.
We came from there. We could get messages back to there. You approach dangerous. It'd be life-threatening if you approach. You tell me, and we tell them.
The nervous one replies with,
We cannot go back, though. If we cannot approach, then... Kang, what do we do?
At that point, while you're discussing with them, the first thing that's going to go off is Draken. Your alarm. Everyone wakes up with a sense of urgency. Sense of something's not right, something's wrong.
I see. I look and see.
I look around. Got 120 feet of dark vision.
Looking
What do
around,
we see out here?
you
That's
can
60.
you can clearly see that BT is talking to two Nworq, or staring at two Nworq, who are chittering among themselves. William, you've never seen a Nworq like this before. You're muted.
You were muted.
Do I see anything else elsewhere?
As your bells begin to also chime in your head, just behind you, you look down. You don't see anything, but something definitely triggered your area. And then you catch the slightest shimmer of the air. Infiltrators.
Hit it.
You're getting surrounded by infiltrators. And that's actually where we're going to finish for the night.
Can I hit him? Can I hit him with the with the sound? This is the sound emanating from me that we will go out on. I just stand up, get my weapons ready, and
may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go